Okay. Now that our room has become all toasty with all of our greetings, I'm going to let one more happen, and then I will ring the peace bowl. There will be more chances. There will be more chances in this service to greet one another. But for now, let us listen to the sound of this peace bowl. We are ringing this sound in joy for the new year, in joy of birthdays. And we are ringing this bowl, acknowledging that these lands that we love are the lands of the Yavapai people, the Wipukepas, the Tolkepayas, the Quevkepayas, and the Yavapai. We also acknowledge the sadness that Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who brought his joy to us in our first service in this sanctuary, has left this world. The Archbishop of Canterbury said of him that when people spoke about that man that so many called Archie, that they said that when they were in the dark, that he brought light. He helped people feel that the sun would rise again. Let us listen to a song in his honor. Here Comes the Sun.
Good morning, everyone. It's a delight to be here, and it's great to see you all, both on the screen as well as in our sanctuary. Welcome to Granite Peak Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Prescott, Arizona. I am Marianne Erickson, your worship associate today, and I am honored to be among you in this special hybrid service presentation. I'd like to take a moment to wish Judy Davis a happy birthday. We extend a warm welcome to all, and we're so happy that you are able to join us, whether you're on the screen or here in person. We hope you are in good health and that you are staying warm on this very chilly day. This is the mission statement of our congregation. We are a compassionate spiritual community that celebrates diversity, nurtures the personal and spiritual growth of all ages, shares our gifts, promotes justice for all, and serves the world we live in. If this is your first visit, welcome. More information about our community can be found in our Visitors Cafe table on our website, in our Visitors Cafe on our website at prescottuu.org, our monthly newsletter, The View, which just was emailed to those who are on the list. And if you want to be on the list, let us know. It's also on the website, and as well as through chatting with members and friends in attendance in person here or on Zoom in the breakout rooms. And again, welcome. Please take a moment to place your phones on worship mode. Before we begin our service, there are a few announcements. We are an active community, so please check the weekly peek email, our website, the order of service, and Reverend Patty's videos for announcements. There are upcoming events in January that include women's groups meetings, the Wednesday Forum Politics and Religion Discussion Group, Braiding Sweetgrass, and Friday Lunch with Reverend Patty, the Raven Boys monthly men's meeting Saturday, Wisdom Walk with Mary Ann Clark, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. March, which Granite Peak is co-sponsoring, and our our faith development team leader, Robert Shagog, is helping to coordinate. Also of note this month, on January 16th, is the 25th silver anniversary of the formal organization of Granite Peak Unitarian Universalist. And that was the day our IRS C3, 501c3 designation letter came through. Didn't work well. Better. This chalice lighting message is adapted from a writing by Lisa Doge. For the new year, just days old, beginning today, always beginning, we light our chalice, symbol of faith, perseverance, and hope, in astonished thanksgiving and irrepressible praise. For beginnings that emerge out of endings, appear amidst continuity, and become visible in hindsight. And for all the times and all the ways we have begun together. We begin our service in the Unitarian Universalist tradition of lighting the chalice. Our new friend, Jules Griffin, will perform the chalice lighting. Thank you, Jules. We light this chalice, a symbol of our heritage, in gratitude for this beloved community.
Good morning, everyone. Way back in October, after we had thought we were going to open and then we didn't open, I read the words of Rosa Parks, who said, "I am leaving this legacy to you to bring peace, justice, equality, love, and a fulfillment of what our lives should be. Without vision, the people will perish. I felt that deeply. It seemed like we'd had a vision for opening this sanctuary. Judy, I think you were excited about coming. Everybody was excited about coming. And then we couldn't because of that Delta variant. And yet today we gather in a hybrid service with another variant flying around the world. And we gather to find a vision. Our lives, the earth, is always in that process of transformation, always. And that's no reason to give up making a vision. Let us take up the torch of those who came before, like Johanna Hawley, who made these beautiful murals around our space. Let us open today for those first footsteps on New Year's Day that for us went right into that crunchy snow. Let us open with the words of Saigyo, a 12th century Japanese poet who writes of winter and transformation and impermanence. Winter has withered everything in this cold mountain place. Dignity is in desolation now, and beauty is in the cold clarity of the moon. For that clarity, let us sing or dance or hum together. I invite those of you who are in our sanctuary to hum. Those of you who are joining us on Zoom, to sing as loud as you like. Be thou my vision. We thought 2 verses was enough to hum. And now, please join me in a joys and sorrows for the new year that is on the joy side. We have all of these candles lit. Wait. Oh, our covenant. I'm so sorry. I was so excited. I kept looking at Judy. Sorry, Judy. Now you know something's coming. You can feel that sense of suspense. I apologize. Let us say the words of our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation, the quest for truth its sacrament, and service is its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve others in community. Thus do we covenant together. So as we listen to the sound of our bowl, let us consider the joys and sorrows that we bring to this community. And before we get into the joy, I just want to mention the people who are living around Boulder, Colorado, and the devastation that's happening there. Our community is connected to them in many ways. Jack Stanton's, Annette's son lives in that area. So as we breathe together, recognizing all the joys and sorrows that we speak of each Sunday, today there is a special one that is rising to the top. Let us listen to a special video from the choir.
Happy birthday to
This is for you, Judy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Judy. Happy birthday to you. You're 93. Message for Judy. Lena.
Take care, Judy. I miss you.
Miss you lots, Judy.
We love you, Judy, and hope you're singing with us soon.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Judy.
Happy birthday.
We want to grow up to be like you, Judy.
Happy birthday, Judy.
Thoughts are with you.
We love you, Judy.
Happy birthday, Judy.
I'm
You're
thinking of
93 and a
you.
role model for me.
And I'm thinking of you, Judy, on your birthday.
Happy natal day.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Davis.
Happy birthday.
Oh. So we're going to have a minute of meditation now, where I invite you to bring all that is on your heart into that meditation. But for beginning this new year, I invite you to bring the joy. If we could metaphysically have this sanctuary rise, who knows, we might lose the ceiling in the process. So let us have one moment of silence around joy, especially around Judy, and well wishes for her health. Please join me in a spirit of meditation and prayer. Spirit of life, we are here today in this place and in many places, gathering as community, each of us with joys and sorrows. We are in the middle of a pandemic. Let us hold the physicians, nurses, all those workers who are in danger, and all those families and people who are ill. Let us hold them in the arms of this community. And today, especially, we hold Jackie Hurst, who just was in the hospital and is recovering well. And most of all, today, we hold Judy Davis, a beloved member of this congregation who is turning in this moment 93 years old. May blessings be all around her and all around this earth. We say these things in your many names. Amen. Amen. And now let us sing the song that we sing at this time, Walking, Walking with You. we're letting you sing this one because it's short.
As you know, this congregation and its programs are supported by your generosity, in large part through your pledges to the annual Stewardship Campaign Drive. I am again chairing the Stewardship Committee, which is preparing for this year's canvass to secure pledges for the next fiscal year. You will receive a letter from our board president, Elaine Hayes, soon with a message from Reverend Patty and an invitation to celebrate our beloved community's 25th anniversary year at the March 5th Congregational Dinner, either in person or by way of a pre-arranged takeout dinner. Accompanying your mailed invitation will be the proposed budget and a giving guide that will help you plan your pledge for the fiscal year that begins July 1st. Online pledging will again be available. Volunteer stewards will be following up to assure that pledges from members and friends are requested, received, and recorded. It is because of charter members like Judy Davis and Ethan Davis and Ken Briefer and Eunice and Albert Lovejoy and Gwen Janes and Mike Tosin and your generous support that our congregation exists. There you go. And now the offertory. As we prepare to take the offering this morning, let us embrace the feeling of connection and community that we have when we gather here or we see each other on Zoom on Sunday mornings. The offering includes pledge payments and contributions to defray operating expenses of the congregation. Many mailed payments are included in the weekly offering. Granite Peak members and friends also give back to the greater community through our Seeds of Support program. This month's Seeds of Support recipient is PASS, Prescott Area Shelter Services. Please read about this amazing organization in your order of service and the monthly newsletter. If you are joining us remotely, you can give through our website at prescottuu.org or use the link provided in the chat on Zoom this morning. We acknowledge the generosity of spirit expressed through the offering. What is given in love is received in gratitude. Blessed be.
Thank you, Lena. Many people join me in feeling joy that you are back at the piano and we can hear you're playing like we haven't been able to on Zoom. Towards the beginning of the pandemic, Kita O'Meara wrote these prophetic words. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still and listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows, and the people began to think differently, and the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully as they had been healed. Is there imagine? No, this is fine. As in Kitty O'Meara's words, some of us did stay home and read books, and that work of healing is ongoing. Others of us had work that we needed to do in the face of great danger. What have we learned? Lou learned how to cut Louie's hair enough so that he could see. We learned to let go of having our hair styled and lowered our standards, figuring out that if our hair was clean, that was good enough. I never figured out a way not to touch my face, which meant that whenever I went out, I would come back certain that I had picked up the virus somewhere and transferred it to myself through my nose. We learned on Zoom what each other's pets looked like, and that cats, especially your cats, Art, love to put themselves in front of the Zoom screen. We've learned that Zoom makes some people sleepy and that they tend to sleep through the services. We've learned what some people's pajamas look like and bathrobes. We've learned things that we weren't meant to learn because people forgot to mute. We have learned that we can have a talent show online, even with a swimmer, and we can have a fun community stewardship dinner all on Zoom. We have learned that there are lots of ways to be in community, and that nothing is like being with another person in person. Before the vaccine, we had to console each other's grief, loss, without being able to hug each other. We have even met family and not hugged. And sometimes getting together with so many restrictions at a distance with our masks has made Zoom feel downright friendly. And then there have been some people who are introverted who have loved this new life with less contact, have felt it as a gift from heaven, and others of us have suffered from the distance we have had between us and others. All of us have done our best to cope. We've made different choices from each other around safety. Even when we knew that we could catch COVID from a grandchild, we could not hug that child. We have been constantly battling fears, and not false fears, for as of yesterday, 5,456 7,799 people worldwide have died so far from the coronavirus outbreak. 5.5 million souls. These past 2 years will be one of those bands in the Earth's history, like those cataclysmic geologic times that geologists look for when they look at sedimentary rock, that help them gauge the age of a formation. We have all lived through history together. And as for thinking ahead and making a vision, I wonder how many of you have planned trips or visits to restaurants, or perhaps something as simple as a trip to the cinema, but then felt it best to cancel. How many of you have experienced that? We have so many times that we started thinking, why make a plan? And on this day, as we begin a new year together, I think it is time for us to dream beyond the pandemic, or even dream with the pandemic. It's time for us to use what we have learned from this time apart and articulate a vision, even when we are out of that habit of envisioning. I would like our vision to grow out of what was one of the greatest gifts of this pandemic, that profound experience with our interconnectedness with everything else. For that virus could make its way into the White House, into fancy parties. No one has been immune. What we have seen, though, is the injustice of the way that people who contacted the virus were treated. We must not forget those who were left to die and those who much more easily contacted it because of their work situations in meatpacking plants and their limited contact with fresh food that gave them underlying health disorders that made them more susceptible to serious consequences. As we dream, we must keep holding to those strands of the web of life that connect us to all else. This morning, as I talk about vision, I want the core of it to be in that nitty-gritty place of relationship among us and with the world. This is where we show to each other and the world who we are and how we are living out the beautiful principles that are written on the walls of this sanctuary. I don't know the number of, or the percentage of people who become Unitarian Universalists after reading our principles, but I know that when I read them, I thought, this is what I want to live by. And these are high ideals to espouse in the world. As for my vision, Lou and I would love to be with you for a very long time. We're going to try to make that happen. Oh, thank you. And I would love for this congregation to grow and expand into this web around us. This week, a veteran from across the street came to our building wanting to learn about who we are. I believe that finding this faith has saved lives, certainly changed my own, transformed it. This faith has given people a community, happiness, greater understanding, and connection with the world in a new way. When people find us, they often say, I wish that I'd known about Granite Peak earlier. I would love to be able, as part of this vision, to do something about that. to be more visible. You may expect me to have a vision of young people coming in our doors and joining us. I would welcome that with open arms. And I'm also delighted with the appearance of more people in their 70s and 60s and 80s and 90s. Lou and I became Unitarian Universalists in a congregation that had one young family, a family who lived out in the middle of the Sonoran Desert and prepared food for migrants crossing. The only children were the three of that family, and Mary Lou took them under her wing and taught them music and how to sing, and they formed a children's choir that sang all over the area. We are friends with them still. Most of the congregation, however, were in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. The person who changed our lives more than anyone else in our whole lives was among them. Sitting on the front row, nobody's on the front row today, sitting on the front row of a service we attended. I'll go for the second row, Judy. Sitting on that front row, getting ready to get up and play the offertory music on her concertina. She played Pennies from Heaven. And whenever we saw her after we became friends, we would try to find a piano so that we could sing songs to her. And when she was in the hospital for a stroke, we sang with her for hours to bring back her ability to speak. We brought a guitar. A friend carried her string bass through the corridors of the hospital so that we could serenade her. And then when I went to seminary in Indiana, she called Lou every day to ask her to come to lunch and have a swim at the Continuing Care Retirement Center where she lived with her husband, Bill. And then when Mary Lou came down with the chicken pox, you heard correctly, and I was far away trying to get a plane home, Bill drove Marge to our door with a basket of provisions and a note that said, "I bet you're tired of chicken soup. Love, Marge." In the basket were 10 large bars of Lou's favorite Swiss chocolate bars and a picture of Marge's signature margarita. She taught us the biggest lesson anyone can teach another human. She taught us about love, unconditional love. Mysteriously, our love for her did not diminish what we felt for our parents. It opened our hearts to knowing what love could look like. The day before she died, we went out for a Mexican feast that she put all her strength into attending and singing and feeling that amazing love. Marge transformed our lives in those deep down places. She pursued a friendship with us, and thank heavens she didn't think, what would these women who are so much younger than I am want to do with me? Her photo is in my office, smiling over at me. When you come for a visit, I would love to introduce you. I'm telling you this story because if we want to grow, and I believe that we do we? Okay, seeing I can't, I'm at this part where I only see names for the people on the screen, but I think that we do. I've heard that a lot. If we do, then we need to have the vision of the possibilities of friendship with those visitors who come through our doors. Can one of the fruits of this pandemic that has kept us distant from one another open us to more friendships? If you're 91 or 93 or 25, and the new person, the visitor sitting next to you is 80, 70, 50, 35, or 22, I want you to imagine that they could be that Marge in your life, or that you could be that Marge in their lives. Whatever your age, you could have that wisdom, that offering of unconditional love that they have been missing their whole lives. Take my word for it. This congregation is full of people with wisdom and love to share with those who find their way to our doors. And we have much to receive. I believe that is how we will grow. That is how the people who find us somehow through our website or from a Unitarian Universalist congregation in another part of the country, that is how they will become a part of our community and family. I also have a vision of welcoming the greater community into a beautiful sanctuary where we can hear ourselves sing, a place that will inspire composers and performers to make magic, a place that will stir us each Sunday to align ourselves with our values, a place where we sit and feel the wonder that we feel in a forest. That's a pretty big dream. A place where we want to invite our neighbors and friends to come with us. A place where we will be able to hear each other sing and we will feel pride and a sense of accomplishment that we did it. We fulfilled that vision that I have heard this congregation has had for a very long time, to raise this roof and to change this carpet. We're now very close to having an estimate for what that dream is going to mean. And I will prepare a drum roll when we do have those numbers, which apparently are close to coming. This vision that I imagine for Granite Peak is expansive, of growing and becoming more and more known to our community as a place to find inspiration, a place to gather to do the work of justice, a place of beauty to meditate, a place to bring ideas and be inspired by the ideas of others, a place of new, transformative friendships, a place of joy. I wonder, what are the visions you are holding? Will you join me in opening yourself to the unexpected friendship and to find a way to make this sanctuary sing? Will you join me in finding ways to give back to this earth from which we receive so much? And will you breathe with me and feel the strands that connect us to everything else, to each other, and to those ponderosa pines that breathe out a butterscotch scent when they are warmed by the afternoon sun? Will you join me? Amen, and may it be so. And now together, let us hum, and we are humming because our Unitarian Universalist Association has asked us not to sing because of the danger of projecting our voices. But if you would join me in humming, and those of you on Zoom singing, come sing a song with me. Thank you, Lena. Thank you. May this be a day of joy for Judy Davis, and may she know how loved she is. And may all who are in our community and in the greater community feel those strands that connect us with all that is around us. May we find times in this winter to enjoy the light through the trees and that amazing crunch of snow under our feet. And now we are going to have a chance to actually sing, because we can sing outside. We are going to sing for peace, Dona Nobis Pacem, out there. And I think you guys can make it through there. So put on your coats because it's mighty cold. Heather, I'm wondering if we should send them into the people who are joining us on Zoom into the breakout rooms. This could be quite boring for them. What? Okay. Okay. I didn't hear what you said.
Everybody, part three, one more time, and do, nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem. Choir rehearsal is at 1 o'clock. Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
I am. I know it was on mine, but I didn't. No. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Beginner's mind. I'm sure everybody's here. So everybody knows now. Hi, Tracy. Now we know the mystery of imagine. So, which is always a mystery, imagining. And we now, with great love, extinguish our chalice. Hi, Dan. I didn't see you before. Hi. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we extinguish the chalice. Oh, it's okay. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you. And now all of you can go into breakout rooms. It's so wonderful to see you. So wonderful. And sorry about this light that looks like a dagger above my head. We tried to get rid of it, but to no avail. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year.